is gonna take Cracker Jack timing, Wang.
Total concentration. You ready, Jack?
I was born ready.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. Now let's talk about all the very best comics of the week. I'll be honest, I expected a humdinger of a week. It felt like Marvel had really loaded up the slate. We had a lot of the annuals, which can be hit or miss from DC Comics, but it felt like we had a lot of very important things coming out. And I was a little bit disappointed. I don't know about, how are you feeling about this one? Obviously, this is Drew from Comics League. How you doing, Drew?
Doing well. I'm tired. It's been a long week, but a lot of reading and a lot of writing, a lot of promoting this week. But this week with new comics, it was a lot of buildup, a lot of just like, you're going to love this, but then big letdown for a lot of the stuff, especially Avengers 750, which I think you loved it almost as much as I did.
So I did a review on this one, and it says the word sucks it's about the size of the screen on the thumbnail. And I actually had someone come in and say, I'm 4 minutes into this and it's been nothing but negative. I was like,
did you not get it from the thumbnail?
I said it sucks. I got nothing good to say about that comic. It was awful.
Yeah, the only I said when you stepped away, the only good thing about that comic was the backup story, the very end with Steve McNiven on the art, the Thor and King Arthur story. But that's not worth $10.
I'm glad the real Jen Walters is back.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I guess there was a few good things to come out of it. There is some congratulations in order. Sounds like Born of Blood. You're already over 40,000. Your campaign goal, I think, was 5,000. Or was it?
That is correct. The goal was 5,000, and we smashed that in 13 minutes. First 13 minutes, we smashed it.
You're over that by about 8 times. We are going to talk about and show the trailer of Born of Blood here later in the program, but we do need to talk about all the best indie, Marvel, and DC comics. We've got enough stuff. Even though it was a disappointing week, we do have good comic books to talk about. We are going to hit the indie scene first, and I think this is the comic book that really has everybody talking. Mark Millar, Mateo Scalera's King of Spies. This weird kind of what if James Bond had retired and then, maybe had discovered that he had been working for the bad guy the whole time. What would he do if he got some type of terminal illness? This thing is great. It's really, I like the story. It is a bit cynical, but I like the character that they've created here. But I love the art that really drives this story forward, Drew.
Yes, Mateo Scalera's art, he is fantastic. I remember, a fun fact, we got an email about a month ago from Mark Millar's wife and Netflix saying, hey, you're one of the 10 distributors. We want to preview King of Spies. So we're giving you the first 2 issues, read it, put out a review. Don't talk about this stuff, but talk about what you can. And so we're like, okay, hey, shots fired. We're going to read this. And we loved it. We loved it from Jump Street. Issues 1 and 2 are fantastic. And I love this concept. This is what the Bond movies should have been. This is what the last Bond movie should have been. And I am blown away by how action-packed and just kinetic this comic is.
Absolutely. And it's a Mark Millar comic, so it's blood and guts. It goes too far some places. Maybe not far enough a couple other ones. Obviously – he's bagging chicks. He's getting shot. Everything that's happening. This is one of the most kinetic comics you're going to read, and it's got some really thoughtful character exploration as far as developing the character. Yeah. Even within the first issue, that he kind of gave up everything for Queen and Country. He's he is a knight or whatever, but along the way he lost his family, and was it worth it? It turns out he doesn't think so.
Nope. And that may come to bite him in the butt eventually. I'm not going to say what happens, but something may happen. But not just that, he looks so damn cool, so slick. This character, just the hair, the beard, the suit, and everything. Like, I would love. I hate cosplayers generally, but I would love to see someone cosplay as this dude. He looks awesome.
Yep. So I absolutely love that one. I thought it was going to have something to do with the Kingsman.
It's one of those things where
it could, but
it could in theory, but as its own thing, it's terrific. I'll say that, and I don't say it often, but this could be a flipping movie. I want this as a movie.
Oh, absolutely. This thing is going to be on Netflix sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
The other indie book that I would talk about, and it's not a really high recommendation, but I have been enjoying Robert Kirkman's Firepower from Image Comics. Obviously, that's under Skybound imprint, his imprint. I like Ninja Comics. I wish the story was moving on along a little bit faster pace. We're through the first story arc, and it feels like maybe it's hit a bit of a wall at this point, but the art's still fun. The story is still great. We get we get a dragon, we get some stakes, we get some turns and whatnot. So I'm still enjoying Firepower. I know you haven't read this, but if you like Ninja Comics, this might be the best one out there other than Ninja Blast.
You know, I would check that out today gladly, but I've got this huge stack of comics I got to read for next week. But eventually, sometime when I get some free time, I'm going to jump in and read the first few issues because I do like Chris Samney's art and I do like Robert Kirkman. So
the first issue is like 80 pages, so you'll know on the issue number 1 whether or not you like it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I'll let you know what I think.
All right, so you have a big indie recommendation. I think this one is kind of probably been slept on a little bit. I don't think a lot of people knew this was coming out, but I'm personally liking Ablaze. It seems like almost everything they put out I enjoy. I know you're a big fan of their debut this week.
Yes, with the Animal Castle #1. So it's an updated take on Animal Farm, more or less, taking the animals out of the farm, putting them into a castle, and you have a hierarchy in this castle. And it's very interesting, very thought-provoking. You see the different sectors of the castle, different communities, the different animals. I got a kick out of it. What drove me back into it, there's a moment with some female rabbits lined up to get with this one male rabbit. And and there's this
concubines.
What's that? Yeah, it's great. And they're all carrying carrots. They're all carrying a carrot for him. And a cat comes up. He's like, "I'm sorry, I don't do cats." It's great. I love it. It's just small stuff like that you got to enjoy. And it is very violent, much like Animal Farm was. So or Watership Down. But I'm interested to see where this series goes.
And this is Xavier Dorison, Felix Delep. I'm not personally familiar with either one, but it sounds like they are some creators to keep an eye on.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I'm not familiar with their work, and the interior art is beautiful. I thoroughly enjoy it, and the dialogue is really good.
Absolutely. Were there any other indie comic books that stood out to you, or were those the big ones?
Those were the big ones for me, I would say. Yeah, for me this week.
Absolutely. Like I said, it felt like it was going to be a huge week. And there are definitely great comics, but it's not so full that we can go like 5 or 6 deep in each of these categories. Let's move over to Marvel. Yes. I was very disappointed in Marvel. A lot of the things that I thought were going to hit, Daredevil 36. I don't know why I had expectations for Adventure 750. Were kind of letdowns. I did enjoy Venom #2, Ram V, Brian Hitch. Obviously, it's Ram V, so it's concentrating on the Dylan Brock story where he and Venom and then the cat are kind of on the run. And they're using a little bit of, tradecraft as far as maybe some spy kind of stuff going on. And we can see that they're actually being hunted by some government organization. I really think the Ram V story portion with Dylan Brock is going to be really solid. We'll see how this thing goes. It could be a little bit discombobulated with having 2 different writers and 2 different stories playing out in the same comic book. But this one focuses on, in my opinion, the better story, and I enjoyed it.
And I completely agree. Yeah, the better story here is really with Dylan. With the Eddie portion, I said it before multiple times, it really making him look like a deadbeat dad. And he's out having fun while his son's suffering here. But I do enjoy the aspect of Dylan being on the run, and it's exciting. And we got is that a new character there at the end? I think that's helping him out.
Yes, I believe so. I don't think I've ever seen that character that had worked with Eddie Brock in the past as some type of investigative journalist. Although it appears to be more like a spy, because they call it drop zones and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this character. But yeah, Brian Hitch's art is really good. It's solid. And I really hope I really do hope the other portion of the Eddie story of In Space, it is just as good. I hope it's just as good, but I don't think it will be as touching or as gripping or as enthralling as the Dylan stuff.
I agree with you, my friend. Now, there was another Marvel comic you were going to recommend. I didn't read this one, but you're still on the ASM train.
I am back on the ASM train. I was off it, but then, as they said in the movie Dumb and Dumber, it totally redeemed itself. The last 2 issues of Amazing Spider-Man have been amazing. No pun intended. Yeah, 79 was a lot of fun. 80, just as great. Just as kinetic and fast-paced. Kraven kicking Spider-Man's ass. I love it. He pretty much tranked up Spider-Man filled with darts. He's hallucinating. He's on an oil rig trying to figure out what's going on. And a great cliffhanger at the end. I enjoyed it. Kraven's back and kicking butt.
So this is Cody Ziegler writing and then Mike Dowling on art. One of the drawbacks by releasing 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man monthly, but also doing a .BEY issue every month, essentially making a weekly comic book, is you are not going to get much consistency in the way of art.
Or storytelling. Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing I'm not looking forward to after this. Like after when Cody steps off and it's the next writer, I'm like, okay, I know it's not going to be as fun or as engaging or as action-packed as what this guy did. So it's going to have me waiting now for the next Cody Ziegler issues because Cody has set this bar now for his Amazing Spider-Man stuff. I'm like, Cody, you got to meet this, man. This was damn good. This is much better than the other 2 knuckleheads have been doing. So yeah.
I thought Seb Wells' ASM stuff was also very strong, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, and in the beginning it was all right. Yeah, it was good. And Kelly Thompson was just Kelly Thompson. But
she's Kelly Thompson did.
Yeah, she did. She Kelly Thompson Spider-Man. Yeah, brought in the Charlie's Angels Point Beyond issue. I can't believe that issue. But yeah, I look forward to the Cody stuff. The Cody stuff should be solid.
All right, let's move over to DC Comics. I thought this was going to be a Marvel week. It felt like they had loaded up the slate, and it turned out to be a DC week, really. Most of my recommendations are actually coming out of DC Comics. I've already yes, it's mostly out of the Angels. I've already kind of reviewed these somewhat in depth and given my recommendations, but I do want to talk once again about Robin Annual 2021, Joshua Williamson, Roger Cruz. I think Flatline is one of those new characters that has a chance to really make it and be impactful and be a long-term fit within the Batman lore as some type of sidekick, maybe in the future also adversary of Damian Wayne, maybe like a Selena Kyle to Batman.
Yes,
and that was easily the highlight of this comic issue to me.
Absolutely. I thoroughly am enjoying this character. Kyle, my brother, he doesn't care for he's my brother. He's got a bar for stuff he can tolerate, but I appreciate the character. I know the character. I know what they're going for, and I really do hope we see more of this character. And honestly, yeah, like you said, this is one of the from the Batman lines going across wide. This is one of the 2 better characters we've gotten from the Batman line, in my opinion, and really hope we see more of Flatline.
Yeah, so if you've been interested in the Robin books moving forward, we certainly got a lot of back information, not only on Flatline, but on Ravager, on Connor Hawk. We didn't get anything about Respawn. Obviously, they're waiting for the big reveal on whatever that character's deal is and what makes them important. We're going to get that within the regular series moving ahead, but I thought that one was really good. The other 2 books, like I said, I've talked about these already. I like Nightwing Annual, didn't love the characterization, but as a bit of fan service or fanfic, if you will, I thought it was pretty solid. And then also, I think Batman the Detective #6, while doesn't live up to the concept maybe that we were sold in the art by Kubert, I thought it was a solid landing. It was a good way to end the issue, and I thought they ended it well, and I wouldn't mind going back to that universe.
Absolutely, I would not mind either. And it's one of the, probably from this past year, I would say probably one of the best, if not the best Batman story we've gotten this year, all things considered, that we've gotten. And Andy Kubert, he's still got it. It's great. You want to talk about consistency. Just since the 90s, he's been consistent. I love it.
Now, there is another DC comic I had. As soon as I read it, I stopped everything I was doing and I went and did a review on the channel. I loved it that much. It sounds like a lot of people were in agreement with me. Like Action Comics 1037, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Miguel Mendonca. What did you think about this one? I've already said my piece.
I was blown away because Philip Kennedy Johnson, he set a high bar with this series, and the last issue was really good as well. And this one, I did not everything that happens in this, I did not expect to happen. right now in this issue, especially the end. I'm like, what? We just went there in this issue. I was expecting that for like another 5 issues. And the art is terrific. And you want to talk, I'm looking more at this guy's style, Miguel Madonca. It's more of a streamlined top 2 level of a James Stokoe. He's got more of a streamlined mainstream James Stokoe level of art detail to him. And I love it. I dig it. And it is such an action-packed comic. We see just the reverberations of what's happening on a world with the World Council, what they think. Oh, Superman's got this. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, he's handled this stuff before. Or does he?
Well, certainly there's some manipulation going on there that I'm sure is going to play out. But yeah, you get in there, and a few pages in, you've got the new Mongol and his army standing face to face, mano a mano with Superman and the Authority. It's like, okay, it's go time. We're going to do it right now, and they did it.
Yes, they did. And I got to give props to Philip Candy Johnson for that. He got straight to it, and kudos. And I'm hoping part 3, hoping that's just as good. I can't wait.
Absolutely. So I've been enjoying Action Comics. I was blown by that. I was not expecting that one. Blew my socks off. I knew I had to do a review, and obviously you and I are on the same wavelength because that's the one you wanted to talk about this week as well.
Absolutely. So those are like you. Yeah. It blew me out of the water. Couldn't believe it.
Those are our big recommendations this week from the indie scene. King of Spies from Image, Animal Castle from Ablaze. Marvel would be Venom number 2, Amazing Spider-Man number 80, and from DC Comics, Robin Annual 2021, and Action Comics 1037. Now, that is the only comic book people should be aware of. You've got the big campaign coming on. Let's hit this promo that you got going.
Yeah, let's show it. Let's do it.
My name is Giaris. I am the daughter of Cleomenes, king of Sparta. This is the first chapter in the story of my life. Be warned, this isn't a story for the faint of heart. Unlike most in your time, nothing was handed to me. My life was one forged with pain, punishment, and countless battles. When you read my story, you will see I truly was born of blood. Color this holiday season red with Born of Blood. Only on Kickstarter.
Oh, Tristan Nerdette, she knocked it out of the park, and she is officially the voice of Giaris. So yeah,
absolutely. So congratulations, already over 40,000. Got a hot promo there. You got an outstanding campaign. Looks like it's trending upwards. Congratulations, Drew. Is there anything else that you want people to know about Born of Blood? What kind of options out there? There are going to be a lot of covers.
There are a lot of covers. We got 3 more along the way. Let me pull up the campaign right here. We've got anything, any budget you can afford. We've got something for you. If you just want a PDF download of it, don't want to spend much, that's $5. Don't worry about it. If you want the basic $10 cover, the Frank Guzman one, which is fantastic, go for that. We got 122 backers for that alone, just for that retail cover. And, if you're a big spender, we got stuff for $150, $350, $700, $50, $40, whatever you want. We've got it. And we've got more surprises along the way. Just wait. And just know this is not – there are a lot of comics that are based on the cover. They're selling it for the cover itself. Do know with this, I wrote this. I put my time, energy, and heart into this comic. And there is a story here. We're going to see her whole life develop over 6 issues. And you're going to get every bang for your buck out of this comic. And the hard part was condensing it down to 22 pages. I'll say that. There's a lot more, but it's going to be spread out over 6 issues. You're not going to be disappointed with what you get from this campaign.
Absolutely. And if you like the adult-themed covers, there might be a couple of options for you on the campaign. Definitely go to Kickstarter. Check it out. There is going to be a link in the video description. Congratulations, Drew. I really appreciate that. And I love talking about the best comic books. You will not be back next week.
That is correct.
At C2E2?
That's correct. I'll be at C2E2 Thursday through Sunday, all next week, selling comics, getting autographs, meeting Garth Ennis. So that'd be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. If you see Drew in the Comics League, guys, go say hi. And if you see Gervain Dargan, make sure you go say hi to him too. That should be his neck of the woods.
Oh, Jermaine will be there? Oh, I'll be sure to say hi to him.
Well, he's from Chicago. I imagine he's going to make it, right?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to say hi to him.
All right. So thank you all, everybody. We'll see you next week. I'll see you next week with somebody else, probably.
Thank you.